to DM-Nastics, the gym for dungeon masters to work out their minds. I'm one of your hosts, DM Celeste, aka Sea Witch.
And I'm your other host, DM Neil, aka Jote Maniac. And today, we're going to be looking for hidden treasure.
Wow, where is it?
It's not on the monsters. What did I title it? You could not have encapsulated a more perfect response than I get from players when they don't find anything immediately on the body.
But you know what? It makes sense because most monsters do not have pockets. It's video games that have ruined us. And the expectation that we will find everything right there for the thieves, right there, just in the middle.
Yeah.
On the body.
This is not the episode to address it, but we also, in no way, shape, or form, address the giant toxic situations that constantly are created by adventurers just leaving
just
bodies.
Looting the body and then not telling anyone. They're like, wait, but I got that gem off the dragon. You're like, come on, guys.
Well, I saw it once in an anime. It's a Rising of the Shield hero where an adventurer had killed a dragon, and then literally the whole town is just like, we are having a terrible time because the horrible dragon you killed is leaching all of its terrible into every surrounding area and causing even worse issues than it just being asleep and awful. But all of that to say, we have a list here of 10 monsters with hidden treasure, and it's brought to us from The Gamer and by Chris Stomberg. Basically, it's 10 monsters that your players are going to kill and then immediately go, hey, why don't I get stuff?
Hey, where that?
Yeah. And we talked a little bit before that, it's okay because then you can have multiple layers and there's a level of air quote realism that comes from the fact that, guess what? A purple worm does not carry a purple purse. So.
Also, think about humans. Like, if you kill a wizard, I don't know. Hey, guys, do you leave all your treasures, like your earthly possessions, right by the front door so the robber can pick them up when they break in? No, we don't do that. Neither does the wizard.
Yeah, with a this is also the discussion we had before. With a little hand truck at the front. Like, listen, if you're going to come and rob my house, don't wake me
here's
up.
all my technology, like right here in a basket for you. No, it doesn't happen like that. You got a rifle.
Yeah, come on. So, I mean, number 10 is, in fact, a purple worm. Yeah. This is an interesting thing that I feel like came up a lot more for me in my earlier days of D&D, which was just cut everything open.
Yeah.
If you've killed it, you are cutting it open to find what treasure be inside that there monster.
And purple worm is a great example of that. Yeah, absolutely. Because, clearly a worm doesn't have, like, a lair where it tunnels through rocks and goes around and eats stuff. It's like saying, like, a whale would have treasure. It's moving through the ocean. It makes no sense. But, obviously it eats a bunch of stuff. So, cutting open the worm and getting in there.
Yeah. And this is kind of your other classic idea that, like, hey, you might not be the first set of adventurers that have fought it before. It could be inside. This is also one of the classic uses for detect magic items, and they will look at its stomach and be like, hey, there's stuff inside.
Yeah. Oh, I like this too. It brings up a point in here. As purple worms move through the earth, they swallow hundreds of tons of earth, and occasionally precious gems are encased in the earth they swallow. Oh, I like that kind of take. So any purple worm cutting it open is bound to have some, rare minerals in it. That's a pretty cool idea.
What do we got for number 9?
Number 9, harpies. Yes, classic monsters that do not have pockets. So harpies on the whole seem more beast than humanoid. They do like shiny things. Yes. And they do have nests. So that's the point, right? If you kill the harpy, it's clearly not going to have its treasure on it. You have to climb all the way up to where its nest is and go get it, which is its whole challenge in of itself. That's why they have the nests and, nest on weird and hard to reach places. So I like this. This is a very good thing to point out.
Not all of them do this, but this one is definitely one that escalates a lot further. And this is kind of the thing that, like, if you're trying to layer it in, be a campaign or into a next adventure or like an arc, because it's not, I mean, if a harpy has come down to attack you, going back up to get its stuff leads to a lot more because, like, how difficult is that? How many more harpies are up there?
Yeah. Because they're smart enough to send raiding parties, away from their nesting grounds to attack and then bring stuff back. So
can you fly?
Absolutely.
Will they just
can you fly?
Give you a Sparta kick right off the side of the cliff? I don't know.
Boop.
It's the first thing that came to my mind, and I apologize to my players in advance.
Sparta kick.
Yeah. But that leaves us to something that will escalate much further, and that would be liches.
Yes.
This is an interesting one because I feel like in terms of this list, I feel like this one's happening to a degree, no matter what, because your average or most any party is going to assume there's a phylactery.
Yeah. And only the worst liches in the world would be their physical body in the same place as their phylactery. Because if you destroy both at once, it's game over, man. So of course they have a secondary location. At least one secondary location.
He's tired. Okay.
Yeah.
He's tired.
I'm just
Please.
over it. I also like out too because liches, incredibly powerful wizards. So they have 1,001 different ways to hide things and put things, from Leomund's secret chest to demi-plane spells to, having their own Mordekainen's magnificent mansion and stuff. Like, you have to think about this, all the weird stuff your wizards do to hide and, protect the treasure in your party. Liches do that too. So a well-made point, you're never going to find the lich's best stuff on them. Absolutely not.
Although, okay, so this one I will say that, like, the next piece, this can allow for a lot more interesting non-combat issues.
Yeah.
So then everything that happened right before it, huge combat and everything, and then everything past it ends up being, is it puzzle solving? Is it rituals? Is it things that, like I said, non-combat scenarios? Are you using lucid dreaming from last episode
come on.
to figure this out?
Was it a dream? Did you actually kill the lich? Did you kill it in a dream? We gotta know.
So then.
Oh, all right. Ooh, okay, yeah, the next one. So number 7, the Marrow. So, our bad boy versions of merfolk. Well-made point. They slippy. They very slippy. So pocket, probably not convenient if you're a creature under the ocean to carry around a bunch of treasure on you. So yeah, it makes sense that they would absolutely hide their stuff in deep, deep waters and places where, unless you are a fully decked out druid of some kind with all the capabilities to plunge to the depths of the ocean and get their stuff, it's going to be hard to get it. Think of all of the, sunken ships, and they have pet sharks that they can use to guard things, and like all the tropes that you can imagine in underwater cartoons, how hard things are. Yeah, that's these guys.
Yeah, it's almost the water equivalent to the harpy situation. Like up for, down versus up kind of thing. Yeah. It's all the same issues.
Heck yeah.
Everything can get exponentially. The second you go underwater, everything can get exponentially more difficult.
Yeah, and of course the Marrow would swim up to attack your boat, right? They're not going to do that anywhere near their lairs or where they store all their stuff. So, of course.
The Slotty.
Ooh.
This one is interesting. I do.
Yes, it is interesting.
Like the implications here. I mean, it's got a real Pokemon vibe at the end of it.
Yeah.
But because the gems that they have end up being the ability to control them. So it is an interesting situation that every DM will need to navigate in their career, where you decide, wow, I've given them too many minions. But especially ones that are as powerful as the Slotty.
Or even Shield Guardians, too. Oh my God, the Shield Guardian amulet situation. Yeah.
I mean, this is still a really cool thing, especially if it's kind of a one-off. Like, it's been the culmination of something larger. Or it is... This is interesting because this feels like something that I might do more in the moment than necessarily planned. With the idea that, like, this ended up being something that really hurt them, like something that really not, and I didn't pre-planning. I choose this as the monster that is the companion to the big bad. And it just so happens this thing has their number and just wrecks them. I don't know why. I'm rolling high, they're rolling low, whatever it is. This thing is the thing that they remember as, wow, this had our number. There's something about that makes me think, okay, giving them this means more than whatever I might have had planned. So this is something that like I can definitely see myself in the moment giving that I otherwise would not have thought of.
It is nice, though. I like that the author points out, making that part of the challenge. It's like how to remove the gem without killing the slad, right? So you can control it. Like, so if you approach it more from that and assuming like you can't just kill it and dig it out of its head, right? Like, that's an interesting way to do this, right? Instead of just winding up with a party that has 15 slads at their command and then your whole game is borked forever. So I like that. That's an interesting one. Ooh, okay. Sphinxes up next. Yeah. Sphinxes for me, yeah, they are guardian monsters. That's like literally their whole mythology, right? They're the ones who sit with the riddles and let you into the temples or, have the magic thing, the magic fountain of 3,000 wishes behind them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, of course, the Sphinx isn't going to have the treasure on them. They are usually the obstacle to get to the big treasure.
As the much more puzzly person, the two of us, certainly by far. Don't worry, you have changed my non-puzzly ways over the years, but
there are ways to do there's a puzzle for everyone. Yes,
agreed.
That's my soapbox. I'll put it away.
But and I built it myself. Here, let's figure it out. But there's only one way to build this soapbox. How often have you used Sphinxes? And in turn, like, are people fighting them? Are they getting mad and just like trying to stab it because they don't understand?
So I've actually run quite a bit of high level game play at this point. And because Sphinxes are one of those things, like there are a lot of guardian monsters you can put in here, but Sphinxes are like CR, 10 plus, even the weak ones. So it's really high level parties by the point you're getting to them. But I can think of at least 3 times I've done Sphinx encounters. And typically the people want to solve the puzzles, but I have absolutely run like a con style game where if they failed to get the puzzles or they got frustrated, I have had barbarians just stab the Sphinx. So I have had one Sphinx fight before, and it was fun for me. I don't think the players afterwards, I think they probably wish they had more patience, but because Sphinxes are also they're scary when you're running like I can't remember if it's the Gynos Sphinx or the Andros Sphinx or whatever, but there's like a CR21 one, and they're full spellcasters, and they can like manipulate time and space, and they're pretty wild. So they're rude. They're basically dragons, like in terms of how they lair and their actions and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's I've done one, and it didn't go well for the players. So
yeah, that's a tough one. I would be cautious to have people go through. I mean, it's the same thing as going through an entire fight and getting nothing. It would be going through an entire puzzle, failing and getting nothing. I mean, caution.
Yeah, I mean, usually what I do is like the Sphinx is like the last thing, right? If you're going through a 3 challenge gauntlet to get to the treasure, like the Sphinx is the one before you walk into the big treasure room, because they're pretty scary kids. So you usually end up with the reward one way or another, or the Sphinx eats your face, and then it was your fault for not solving the riddle.
Yeah.
Aha, my puzzle.
The next one.
Yeah. Ooh.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I don't know about this. Okay. Unicorns.
Yeah, if you bad, then yeah, it's cool to get a unicorn's horn.
Yeah, but don't kill a unicorn. Also, I wouldn't think of unicorns like as famous for having treasure. I think the treasure is like getting the unicorn to heal you, or because also I don't believe there are any rules that if you kill a unicorn and chop off its horn, I don't think it does anything for you as its own magic item. The magic fades. No. So
yeah,
meh. This is, and also unicorns, they're like guardians of natural spaces. So like, where is this treasure coming from?
I'm not going to lie to you. It's not going to get better with the next one.
Oh no. Yeah, well, number 3.
It's dragons. They sit on their stuff. I don't know.
It's dragons!
This is an interesting one because I don't. So the dragon one is only interesting in that the obtaining and dealing with often. So this is where I come in with this. If I'm really looking at it, like, I'm taking the article at face value. I'm trying to understand what's happening. I'm not gonna lie. The actual horde from a dragon in and of itself is an issue.
Yeah.
If you want it to be, because it's too much. It's too heavy. It's unweird. Like, you have to involve someone else than just the party typically. So like there are things that you can do with a dragon horde that are more than just you did it. Here's the stuff. But essentially it's not hidden.
Yeah. Well, I actually might disagree. So I think maybe the point of this is like, because if you're fighting a dragon and you kill it and you're not in its lair, then that's a whole thing. You're not getting any treasure, right? Like you have to find the lair and go there. So kind of the challenge, and like one of the ways I love to run dragons is they never fight to the death outside their lair. The only place they ever do that is if they are literally backed into a corner. But the dragons are proactive. So this is like, you know, like running Rise of Tiamat or Horde of the Dragon Queen. You send them out of their lairs and you have them do as much murder as possible. And then they retreat. And so if you want that treasure, you have to watch that dragon, or, you know, maybe intentionally don't kill it here, or you've got to find where it is, follow it back to its lair, you know, do the investigation to find its stuff. That can be a pretty interesting angle.
Yeah, and the other layer that is mentioned here, and that I was kind of thinking too of, is whatever that layer is also an issue. Is like, you know, the very specific ones is like ice is going to be way too cold.
Yeah. And you have some dragons that literally have caverns on the bottom of the ocean. Like some of them can, it totally depends, or in the middle, a black dragon, like the swamp of death, right?
Yeah.
Like
acid or red
or
and lava,
inside a volcano. Like, whoa.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so that's it. Like knowing where it is one thing. Getting it out is,
a whole other story. And also, I feel like we've kind of gotten away from the trouble with lair actions and regional effects, right? We just like anticipate so much of the time now we're fighting our villains in their lairs. But it's just so interesting when you can really showcase, like, fight a thing outside of its lair. And then when it gets in the lair, how much scarier it is with all these, like, extra mechanical options can be very satisfying. We just don't do enough, you know, boss stage fights anymore, Neil. We don't do enough multi-phases for me.
Ever. For any reason.
Oh, ever. Oh, boy. All right, the next one. Flumphs. The weirdest little jellyfish guys. What kind of treasure do these things have? They're psychic jellyfish. What does anybody expect these to have? Treasure?
I mean, no. So the knowledge is treasure is the kind of what we're gonna get at here. So if you can befriend a flumph, basically you have a telepathic field that you're leveraging, and great. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's saying, the author is like, befriending a flumph can lead to stores of hidden info about the evil creatures from which it has been feeding off their psychic power. Okay, that's kind of interesting, because the flumph would prefer to find a holier, tastier meal anyway. Are they always good aligned?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. Huh. Well, that's kind of interesting. But I guess, don't kill it is the thing, because you're not going to get anything. You got to talk to it. It's just I don't know. Flumphs kind of freak me out. I'm going to be honest. I don't put them in my games. It's weird. They're too weird. Ooh, okay. Well, last one.
The Gricks.
The Gricks. Okay. Worm-like Gricks. Yeah, Underdark. They drag their victims back to their lairs before gorging on their bodies. So yeah, Grick dens full of valuable items. Okay. I can see that, because, you know, they're little burrowing worm things. So wherever their lairs are, it's going to be pretty hard to get to them unless you bait them, right? You let them eat something and you follow where they go.
Yeah, I think the Grick is the Grick as the final one is a great stand-in for most monsters that don't have like sapience. They're smart. but they're not smart enough to like, you're not holding a conversation. But then that also means, again, they're not going to be wearing things of value. And the things of value that you and I understand as adventurers will not then be what they understand. And everything that they would theoretically have is just going to be back where they were. And you are going to need to reverse engineer that. Going clear back to the owlbear, same thing. Like finding the like nest or lair.
Finding the nest. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Agreed. Interesting.
But if you agreed with this episode and you wanted to leave us a rating or review, you can always go to Apple Podcasts, your podcatcher of choice. And of course, if there is a monster that you like having hidden treasure, you can always email us about it at dungeonmasterblock@gmail.com. And of course, if you head over to social media, you can find us there at DMS_block or me at JokeManiac.
Yeah, and you can find me at C. Conowitch. And for everything else on the network, you can check out blockpartypodcastnetwork.com. And, as always, a huge thank you to the bards over on Bombarded for our intro and outro music. You can find out more about Bombarded at bombardedcast.com.
But rather than let these mental gains go to waste, let's head over to taking your supplements.
Taking your supplements! All right, Neil, what you got for me today?
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know.
You know
it's a mystery.
Roll me a D100. Let's see what happens.
All right. 63. Fine number.
You have obtained leather golem armor because we were talking about hidden treasures. And last time you talked about D&D Trivial Pursuit. I don't know if it made it into the episode or where it all fell. But one of the things that you brought up about Trivial Pursuit was that you play it with Ted from Nerd Immersion.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about hidden treasure. And one of the things that I recently saw in my like list of things that are like things eventually I kind of want to talk about is Ted had made a updated loot tables. And he had mentioned it on one of his episodes on YouTube. So first and foremost, everybody, if you're not following Ted from Nerd Immersion on YouTube, absolutely you should, because it's how I stay up to date on D&D news. Because
he pays a lot of attention, and I just go straight to him. And he gives you the no BS. Will sometimes even literally read it to you. Like it's direct and not biased. So there you go. If
it's happening in the community and Ted didn't talk about it, I probably won't know about it.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen.
But I'll eventually figure it out. But long story short, Ted has made some very solid loot tables, alternative loot tables, because they're very difficult to find sometimes. They're very difficult to wield. But then I was like, hidden treasures. I always want loot tables. So boom. I just want to shout out the work of a great person. So Ted's updated loot tables, we'll have a link in the show notes. You know what? We've got consumables, common, uncommon, rare, very rare, and legendary. But the thing that I like the most that Ted did, so huge shout out, because oftentimes they're all just oftentimes I don't have anything kind to say often about loot tables. Yeah, they're just like they're in a Dragon Horde style of just like there's just a pile.
What is happening here?
So what he chose to do was divide it into arcana, armaments, implements, and relics.
Ooh,
so you have
that's
four
nice.
Different sections. So what I thought in my head was, you know what, Celeste needs an armament. So we rolled on that table. But if I decided you needed a relic, let's roll a D100 again.
Ooh, okay. 91.
Ooh, I like it. Amulet of the Devout +2.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
cool.
So there you go.
It's nice. So you can theme it based around what kind of characters are in your party. Because obviously, if you don't have a lot of marshals, you're not going to want to roll a ton of armaments for your tables. You will focus on the other sections. That's awesome.
Yeah, and this does great. It's not linking out to anything, so it's not running a field of issues. It's just list and go from there. So, like I said, shout out to Ted, and we'll have a link in the show notes. But with that, we'll turn out the lights and head out of the gym.
Before we go, I want to implore you, the listener, to join the forums, the Discord, find us on social media, anywhere else you can find us, and take part in these challenges, exercises, and other amazing conversations being had.
And as always, to do that, head over to bit.ly/DMBanter and try some DM-Nastics. So your players don't ask, do you even